Hi there. Thank you for watching my views and news. Three news stories. Firstly, restrictions imposed in Bahir Dar, Amhara regional capital. Are these routine restrictions or something extraordinary could happen? There are security threats. That is why these new restrictions have been announced. Secondly, Tigray IDPs in Sudan are being detained, kidnapped, money being demanded for the release. A Tigrayan civil society organization issued a statement in this regard. And thirdly, viewers, Ethiopian birr is going to be devalued. Several Ethiopian news sources are reporting about likely devaluation of Ethiopian currency, while talks going to start between the IMF and Ethiopian government after a few hours on Monday reported. First news story is from Bahir Dar, Amhara regional capital. 3 days ago, there was an assassination in Bahir Dar. 48 hours ago. I did a video on that yesterday. Fano fighters have been trying to push towards Bahir Dar. Bahir Dar is their stated target, just like Addis Ababa. They say they want to capture Bahir Dar. They want to remove Amhara Prosperity Party from power. They want to remove federal government from power. These are their stated goals. Foreign commanders say that in their press briefings, that they want to capture entire Amhara region and they want to remove the government of Amhara. New security restrictions have been imposed in Bahir Dar, regional capital. President of the Amhara region is based there. Amhara regional parliament is located in Bahir Dar. The new restrictions are about movement of vehicles, movement of people. Hours have been specified for the movement of people, movement of bajajes. And if anyone is found violating these restrictions, action will be taken. Display of firearms, carrying of firearms being banned. Bajaje movement without Bajaje movement allowed, but within specified hours. No curtains allowed in Bajajes. People's movement allowed during specified hours. Question is why? Is there panic in Bahir Dar, regional capital? Well, I think military offensive in recent months managed to push Fano away from Bahir. Fano fighters carried out several operations in Bahir. But in recent months, we saw that Fano groups were pushed away from Bahir. I think the operations which were launched against South Gondar Fano, in which a South Gondar Fano commander was killed to Ubante Abate. Those operations pushed Fano away from Bahir Dar. When Ubante Abate was alive, he and Gujjam Fano were working in collaboration and they were swiftly pushing towards Bahir Dar. Ubante's death struck a blow to Fano's advance towards Bahir Dar, I believe. Is there any imminent threat of attacks in Bahir Dar by Fano fighters? It's difficult to say. Fano fighters are spread across the Amhara region. They can carry out attacks anywhere. But the government wants to ensure that security alertness is maintained in the capital and people are kept alert and monitoring and surveillance is increased. That is why these decisions have been taken to impose new security restrictions in the regional capital, reportedly. Secondly, we was Tigray IDPs suffering in Sudan. More than 60,000 Tigray People of Tigray entered Sudan during 3 year long war, which ended in November 2020. Around 2 years ago, war came to an end in Ethiopia, but the IDPs are still in Tigray. Uh, Not in Tigray, they're in Sudan. So they'll return to Tigray, to Ethiopia, in coming months, reportedly. Preparations are underway. But now, when they are in Sudan, they are in trouble. By the way, Sudanese refugees are also in danger in Ethiopia. Several have been killed in attacks by Amhara militia members. Sudanese government lodged a complaint with Ethiopian government. Ethiopian government agreed to relocate these refugees to new refugee camps. Tigrayans remained safe largely in Sudan. But after the start of war in Sudan last year, Tigrayans and Ethiopians were accused of being parties to the conflict. If you remember, Rapid Support Forces a few weeks ago issued a statement saying that fighters of Tigray People's Liberation Front were supporting Sudanese military of Al Burhan against Rapid Support Forces. After that, Tigrayans came under a crackdown. They are being detained. They are being accused of supporting RSF. In some cases, ransom is demanded for the release. According to an NGO, Tigrayan civil society organization, which has issued a statement in this regard. NGO says that in Atbara, in Rawashdad, in Abu Ahmad, Dangelot, Tigrayans are being detained arbitrarily, unfairly, and sometimes money worth 500,000 Sudanese pounds is demanded for the release of these Tigrayans. Ethiopians, as a whole, as a group, are in danger in Sudan because they are being accused of being parties to the conflict. I had a video a few days ago. I told you about the arrests of hundreds of Ethiopians in different parts of Sudan. Uh, and some were going to be expelled from northern state of Sudan, where the state authorities said that the Ethiopians were living without legal documents, so they were going to be deported to their country. Overall, Sudan is not safe now for Ethiopians because they have become controversial or they are being accused of supportive of the warring parties in Sudan. I think the efforts must be stepped up to ensure speedy return of these Tigrayan refugees back to the country, to Ethiopia from Sudan. Lastly, viewers, is Ethiopian currency Birr going to be devalued? Again, some Ethiopian news outlets are reporting that Birr devaluation is on the cards. They say that since IMF and Ethiopian government are going to finalize an agreement, Birr will definitely be devalued. That remains to be seen, by the way. So, if you remember, months ago, I reported that IMF was demanding around 60% of devaluation of the Ethiopian currency. Ethiopia disagreed. 60% devaluation would lead to a storm of inflation and pressure on importers as well. That is why talks went on between Ethiopian government and IMF. A very important session of talks between IMF and Ethiopian government is set to start after a few hours on Monday. And some sources say that the two parties have already agreed on a staff level agreement. That is why Birr is going to be devalued by around 10 to 15%. But we'll have to wait. Whenever currency is devalued, obviously no official announcements are made in advance. Announcements happen suddenly. So we'll have to wait. But uh, if Ethiopia manages to get bailout package from IMF without devaluing Birr, it would be a big achievement of Ethiopian economic team. Let's see what happens. Thanks for watching.